Okay, citizenship by descent can be a very inexpensive way to get citizenship. In some cases, it will take you as long as getting naturalized. It just depends on the actual program, but you'd be surprised how many people qualify for this that don't even know that they can qualify, only because they don't do the homework it takes to do it. Now, we've done these cases before, and we can work with you, or you can do it yourself. But what I'm going to go through is that there's actually 17 countries inside the European Economic Area that offer EU citizenship to grandchildren, great-grandchildren, or sometimes even more distant descendant of European citizens. Now, this article came out in Investment Migration Insider, real good article on this. But they were talking about here because citizenship in one EEA single market country grants the right to live and work in all of them. These citizenships consistently rank among the world's most desirable. Now, tens, potentially hundreds of millions of non-Europeans qualify for citizenship by descent, and they just don't know it. They actually went through, they went and assembled a complete list explaining this a lot more in detail. Now, for the purposes of this article, they ignored the various citizenship by ancestral persecution solutions, such as the ones that apply to people descending from those stripped of citizenship in Nazi-controlled Germany or Austria, or from Sephardic Jews in Spain or Portugal. And also, while Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein are not EU member countries, they are part of the single market, and their citizens therefore have the same settlement rights across European or Europe as citizens of fully fledged EU member states. In any case, none of those four countries offer citizenship by descent to those who are not immediate descendants of citizens. Now, the list, which I'm going to go over, of these countries currently offer citizenship by descent, along with a link to a source, where you can actually find this. But how many people actually qualify for European citizenship by descent? This is going to blow your mind. Outside of Europe itself, descendants of European citizens are overwhelmingly concentrated in the Americas. Now, while there are certainly considerable numbers of European descendants living in Africa and Asia, not to mention the Oceania, where the preponderance of inhabitants have European ancestry, the largest group in absolute terms are found in North, Central, and South America. Now, in 2016, in the United States, 133 million Americans, which is 41% of the population, reported that they were of European ancestry. That number, however, includes only those who had firsthand knowledge of their ancestry, European ancestry, or care to report it. Now, some 244 million Americans, 72% of the population, self-identified as white or Caucasian, many of whom simply consider themselves Americans rather than, for example, Irish Americans or German Americans. Now, in Latin America, more of an estimated 32 to 40% of the population, that's 179 to 220 million people, are of European descent, and nearly half of them live in Brazil. Now, all told, more than 500 million people outside of Europe have some claim to the European ancestry. Not all of those will be able to prove it. Now, of course, fewer than still will be able to demonstrate they have a European ancestry, only 2 or 3 generations removed. A number of European countries, however, don't place a particular generation limit on citizenship eligibility through ancestry. If you can convincingly argue through evidence that your ancestry was Hungarian, for example, there's at least hypothetically no limit on the many generations that you can actually go back. You can go back as far as you want. Now, you're going to have to look at maybe your mother and your father, go on Ancestry.com. You're going to have to look up these people, but you got to know where they lived. That's another thing. Now, if you like, you can, we actually deal with lawyers that have contracts with our company that specialize in doing this, and we can help you in getting this done. Now, Section 13 of Bulgaria's Citizenship Act allows for the granting of citizenship by descent to those who can prove they are of Bulgarian origin with no particular limit on the number of generations that have passed. Now, this means that you can naturalize as a Bulgarian if you have several generations of your ancestors that have not held citizenship, if you're able to prove that at least one ancestor did. That's all you have to do. So even if all the other ones recently that you know of didn't, you might have to go way, way back, but there are probably some that might. So you're going to have to go back and take the task to do that. and see if maybe you can find somebody that did. Now, since September 2019, Czechia has allowed the descendants of former Czech and Czechoslovak citizens to second-generation grandchildren to claim citizenship by descent, thanks to Section 31.3 of an amendment to the Act on the citizenship of the Czech Republic. Now, former citizens have been allowed to claim their lost Czech or Czechoslovak citizenship since 2014. So there's a lot of potential in this country. Now, for instance, Italy will grant citizenship to those who can demonstrate Italian ancestry, particularly no matter how far back. From Buenos Aires to Boston, tens of millions are likely eligible. The estimates are actually rough and vary considerably between sources. Even a conservative count pegs the magnitude of the Italian diaspora at some 83 million people worldwide today. I mean, this is a lot of people that just don't even realize they can actually qualify for this. It makes a huge difference if you do your homework on this. It just takes a little bit of time and work. Now, those belonging to the Latvian or Lav ethnic groups, as well as descendants of those exiled from Latvia by war, are eligible to apply for Latvian citizenship by descent. In practice, Latvian citizenship law allows for a broad range of ways to qualify. There are no specified generation limits, which means that even if you have only very distant Latvian ancestors, you may still qualify. This is the big key right here that you just don't realize, and it can save you a lot of money. Now, Poland offers citizenship by descent to those who can demonstrate they have ancestors who were Polish citizens at or after the founding of the Second Polish Republic in 1919. The country's citizenship law places no generational limits on eligibility, and an estimated 10 to 20 million people worldwide potentially qualify if they're able to demonstrate their Polish lineage. The key is you just got to do the homework, folks, and go back on both sides of your family and find out, where are these descendants of your family, who are they and where did they come from? More than 800,000 Slavic descendants live in the U.S. alone are potentially eligible for EU citizenship through their great-grandparents. Those with ancestors born in former Czechoslovakia, or what is today the territory of the Slavic Republic, are eligible for naturalization in Slovakia, and by extension, full EU citizenship with settlement rights in 27 countries. I mean, that's a lot of potential here with all these different countries. There's just so much to choose from. You're just going to have to find out if you're going to qualify here. Since amending its nationality law in 2010 to allow for the naturalization of foreign citizens of Hungarian descent without the need for a residency period or mastery of the Hungarian language, Hungary has approved more than 1 million citizenship by descent applications. Now, up to 5.5 million worldwide and close to 2 million in North America alone are potentially eligible. I mean, it's just amazing what people just don't realize that, it's there. They're just not taking the time to do this. If you want to learn more on this, folks, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and ask for some help. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the right of your screen, the notification bell next to it. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. We'll get over 700 of them. And again, I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And I'll look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.